Well, it is a good time to be a Colorado sports fan, and while the Nuggets lost in Minnesota, the Avs made up for it in Los Angeles. Happy Friday. I'm Corey Rose.
And I'm Drew Carney. I always feel like the losses hurt more than the wins feel good. Does that make sense?
Totally.
I mean, I know the Avs did good last night, but
Yeah.
I'm feeling like the pain from that Nuggets loss and that one standout soundbite, Minnesota imposing their will.
I know.
That game was tough to watch
It
last
really
night. All right,
was.
we will have highlights of the Avs, lowlights from the Nuggets coming up here. But first, we want to get to meteorologist Jaden Knowles. He's filling in for Katie today with your Friday forecast.
Well, thank you, Drew. I like that intro right there. And, yeah, you know, it was crazy seeing the Nuggets lose that game, but at least the Avs won. And, you know, it's a long series ahead. But let's talk about the weather. Getting you out the door this morning, you'll definitely need that light jacket. Temperatures on the cooler side. We're in the low 40s, 43 degrees at the airport, 41 at Centennial. Temperatures statewide, really chilly everywhere that you go this morning. So you definitely need that light jacket. We're at 32 degrees over towards Ray, 20s and 30s across the high country, low 40s for the western slope. So we do have that freeze warning, mainly for the northwestern portions of the state. That will continue until 9 a.m. this morning. And, of course, we're used to seeing this. The third day in a row where we have a red flag warning, talking about wind gusts closer to 40 miles per hour at times. That will continue till 8 p.m. this evening. So here's the next 12 hours, getting up to the upper 60s by 2 p.m., just a tad bit warmer than what we saw just yesterday, hitting 71 degrees. That's what's in my forecast. But then look at this. Rain chances increasing as we head into the weekend. We'll time it out for you and tell you more details later on in the show. But, Brianna, how's the roadways looking so far this morning?
Yeah, right now our major interstates for anyone taking 225, I-25, I-70, no issues to report. And traffic right now is very, very light for your Friday morning, which is what we love to see, especially right around this time. So it's 5:02. I do want to switch things over to our main maps because we do have a full closure that we're getting reports from CDOT. So this is between Boulder and Longmont. If you're taking Highway 119, we're getting reports that that intersection is closed. This is near Airport Road, again, Highway 119. That is our first major crash of the morning. So we are going to make some calls for you guys and hopefully get some more information from Colorado State Patrol. Now, 225, where I just showed you that CDOT camera, if you're heading southbound into I-25, you're looking at a 9-minute drive.
All right, Brianna, thank you for that. Colorado's wildfire season, meanwhile, has started earlier this year. Active fires led to evacuation notices for people in 2 separate areas yesterday.
Those evacuation orders have since been lifted. Here's what we know this morning. In Fort Collins, the Ponds fire started a little before 5 last night, just east of Horsetooth Reservoir. Didn't burn any buildings, but a firefighter was taken to the hospital after suffering second-degree burns. Firefighters believe they know where the fire started. Now they're working to figure out what started it. Crews will stay there until they've mopped up all of the hot spots.
Meanwhile, the Hammer Fire southeast of Colorado Springs is now 80% contained. The fire department in nearby Hanover expects it to be fully contained by sometime this morning. It started Wednesday afternoon, burning nearly 5,000 acres, prompting evacuations and closing schools. There are no reports, though, of it burning any homes or causing any injuries, and it's still not clear what caused the fire.
Today marks 3 years since 2 people were shot and killed inside a Denver business, and police still don't know who did it. Emerald Von Daler and Ignacio Gutierrez Morales were killed inside the American Elm restaurant on the city's northwest side. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry is there this morning. Jaleesa, this is one of those cases that has really struck with the community.
Yeah, Corey, this double homicide happened in the middle of the day on what is usually a fairly busy street, and that's why people struggle with the fact that there has been no arrest in this case. Now, Emer Von Daler and Ignacio Gutierrez Morales both worked at the American Elm restaurant when they were found shot and killed. Denver police previously thought robbery as a motive, but investigators haven't been able to confirm that or much of anything else. Emerald's sister, Danica Woolard, has created social media pages trying to get more attention on the case. She says solving this case would mean so much to her and Ignacio's family.
It would mean a lot. It would mean closure that, you know, we probably will never know why whoever did this did what they did. But we would at least be able to sleep better knowing that they're not living their life while Emerald and Ignacio can't.
Now, as Denver police continue to investigate this case, there is currently a $32,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. If you know anything, you're encouraged to contact the Denver Metro Crime Stoppers. Reporting live in Denver, Jaleesa Irizarry, 9 News.
Jaleesa, thank you. Investigators looking into the shooting at Evergreen High School in September found Nazi symbolism tied to the shooter. That's according to a more than 600-page report released yesterday by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Documents show investigators found a note in the gunman's bedroom written in German or Dutch that, quote, dealt with the author's harbors negative views of Jewish people. In his bedroom, deputies found a knife in a tan sheath and a silver Nazi eagle on its handle, and drawings with suspected neo-Nazi symbols on them. That shocked a family member who told deputies the gunman had Jewish heritage. The new documents shed no light on one question, though: how the shooter got a revolver that was stored in a gun safe at the family's home. The teen didn't have the combination.
The Larimer County Sheriff's Office says it made an arrest this week in a hit-and-run crash that happened more than 4 years ago. Deputies say Louis Darnell Loma was riding his bike near Fort Collins at the time of the crash. His family says every day without him has been extremely difficult, and his mom says she never thought an arrest would be made.
I'm happy and sad because it just brings back old memories, and the hurt comes back, you know, all emotions come back, and I'm reliving the whole situation again.
The sheriff's office held the suspect, Nicholas Sierra, on a $5,000 bond. He paid the bond, though, and got out on Monday. His first court appearance is scheduled for next week.
The family of the man accused in the anti-Semitic firebombing attack in Boulder is now free. They've been detained for 10 months, but they say they knew nothing about the attack prior to it happening. The attorney for Mohammed Solomon's wife and 5 children made the announcement last night. A judge ordered their release earlier in the day while their immigration proceedings on expired visas played out. They'd been held in immigration detention since last June after Solomon was accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at people on the Pearl Street Mall as they raised awareness of Israeli hostages in Gaza. An 82-year-old woman later died from her injuries. The suspect's wife and their oldest child, who is 18, were ordered to wear electronic monitoring. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security says the Trump administration will still try to deport the family, calling them national security threats.
The city of Denver has to pay $14 million to a group of protesters injured by police during the 2020 George Floyd protests. A judge made that ruling this week in federal court. They found the city liable after Denver police and other officers used, quote, unconstitutional force against a dozen protesters who sustained a range of injuries. A jury awarded the group millions of dollars back in 2022, but Denver officials appealed. The judge rejected that appeal and upheld the jury's verdict. Meanwhile, Denver Public Schools Board expected to vote on a policy that puts limits on immigration agents on school property.
The policy would designate all district-managed property as safe zones. Those are places like schools or bus stops. If passed, the policy would require immigration agents to have a warrant before they can access school property, records, or video. One thing to note, DPS does not collect information on the immigration status of families. The proposal would also prohibit school resource officers from ticketing or arresting students if it would put them at risk for deportation. The board is also taking up a ban on cell phones. The ban would prohibit smartphones, smartwatches, and other personal devices from the opening bell until the end of school.
A fragile ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran continues to hold this morning. Meanwhile, President Trump ordered the Navy to, quote, shoot and kill any boat, even small ones, dropping mines in the Strait of Hormuz. That order comes just days after Iran attacked 3 cargo ships in the strait. Iranian media aired this video saying it shows guards boarding and seizing 2 of those vessels. The Pentagon released this video showing U.S. forces boarding what it said was a sanctioned tanker carrying Iranian oil through the Indian Ocean. Iran says it won't engage in peace talks until the U.S. lifts its blockade. But President Trump says it will continue until the 2 sides come to an agreement.
Meantime, reaction is coming in from lawmakers after Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth ousted Navy Secretary John Phelan this week. Sources say tensions had been growing between the two, and Phelan was given the option to resign or be fired.
The Navy Secretary, when we're at war and this president is trying to initiate a blockade, and this is largely a naval engagement at this point. So it's very disturbing.
In a social media post, officials said Undersecretary Hung Kao will be acting Secretary of the Navy.